Hello Hovians and welcome back to the third channel. Meet the Richardsons Series 4 review. Wow, we've come here. That light has just died. So, we've got less light to work with, but we're still. Alright, so let's talk about Meet the Richardsons. What is it and why we're here. So, a few years ago now, I can't remember the year, Series 1 came out. I reviewed it. I gave it rave reviews. My reviewing style was still sort of new. I think my
on it
phone smart device might start talking, and it did. Anyway, so I hadn't actually reviewed much, and my style was still new, my setup was still new. This setup here is going to change soon. The desk will be used for other things. The light angle might change. The set, the way I do things, all will change. Anyway, so I didn't review Series 2. I didn't review Series 3. I don't know why I didn't do them. I didn't review the Christmas special or the holiday special. So, if you don't know what Meet the Richardsons is, it's Lucy Beaumont and John Richardson, where they're a family with their child Elsie, and it's just about their life. So it's a mockumentary. So some of it, the cameras are picked up and start recording. Some of it's scripted. So it's been scripted by, it says here, I think it does, because down here below me I've got some special notes which I'll get onto in a minute. Does it say? It does. It is written by Lucy Beaumont and Tim Reed from Carshare. So Tim Reed from Carshare. So this is what the overview says for Series 4. John Richardson and Lucy Beaumont are back for the highly anticipated 4th series of Meet the Richardsons, written by Lucy Beaumont and Tim Reed, Carshare. The series displays the faithful, lovable marriage of John Richardson and Lucy Beaumont and the all chaos that comes with it, and their child Elsie. Now, I do think the first series was really good at showing off Elsie. So was, I think, the second, but I then just lost Elsie. I don't know whether it was John and Lucy's choice, but I think if we incorporate Elsie more in it, not just him, that would be perfect. So, right. You're watching this currently on Thursday, the 6th of April at 9 AM. If you're watching it the day it's come out. But I'm recording this Tuesday the 4th of April at 12:47 PM. Now, Meet the Richardsons Series 4 comes out on Thursday. The time you watch is at 10 PM, and all episodes will be available on UK TV Play, either after the episode was aired or just on Thursday. Now, like I did with my Alan Davison's Jet titled review, I did with World's Most Dangerous Roads, I was lucky enough to watch a few episodes early. So I've seen early, I got to watch episode 1, 2, 3, 4. So I've seen the first 4 episodes early. Thank you from the bottom of my heart to UK TV, for letting me watch this early. It was incredible. The first day I watched this series, I was howling laughing. It was hilarious. Every episode is spot on. Now I will be going back at some point and reviewing the other series. So what I've got here in front of me is because I've only actually seen the first 4. The people at UK TV have luckily given me the document, which is an overview document, so when you review it you have more of an idea who's in it, who's not in the episodes you've seen. And it also gives you some narrative structure on what happened in the last episode. So, in this series, the guest stars we have are Russell Kane, Richard Herring, Adrian Charles, Kima Bob, Sally Phillips, Rachel Paris, Anton DeBeck, Hugh Finley Whittingham, Hugh spelled H-U-G-H, and the last name is spelled F-E-A-R-N-L-E-Y Whittingstall. Some of the guest stars involved. So, what else do we have in this series? Well, not only do we have Richard Herring and Russell Kane and Adrian Charles and all the others, we also have a surprise guest. Someone who I've never expected to be in any programme that's scripted in a dramatic sense. Because obviously some people in reality TV scripted, so this person could. She now does YouTube, and she's dating a YouTuber. It's Diane Buswell! Yes! Diane Buswell, the redhead Strictly pro dancer who originally was dancing in the Australian version of Strictly, is on an episode of Meet the Richardsons. Oh, how indeed! So, I don't know how much of this I can go into, spoiler-wise, but I will overview my thoughts on the episode and say what episode you should really look out for and what episode's going to make you howling laughing, because I've got the notes to remind me of what happened in those episodes. So in the last series they moved house. So in the series 3, if you haven't already seen it, sorry for the spoilers, but in series 3 they moved house to, I'm not too sure whereabouts, but I think it might be closer to Hull than previous, but that's beside the point. In the first episode we open up with a spoiler. Yes, what you're about to see is a spoiler, I think. Now the reason I say I think it's a spoiler is because I don't know if they've ever mentioned it on any other programme they've ever done. So I might not mention it, but the first series, in series, I think series 3, no, series 2, they leave their house and then move to another house. And at the beginning of this series, things happen. I don't know how much of that's a spoiler, because I don't know if John never mentioned it when he's promoting this stuff. I don't know. I don't know. So I don't know if I want to say that, so I'm going to let me on tenterhooks there. But neither the point. So, in this series, we get references to Lucy and Weakest Link. We get references to like modern shows that them two have been on. So John and Lucy's odd couples, but they never mention what's happened to the 6th episode. And Lucy was on Sunday Brunch recently promoting Meet the Richardsons and promoting her terrible time on Bake Off, but she never said what's happening to episode 6. So, back to this one. I'll do a whole inside panel show on that. So the first episode was an opening to the series and everyone getting to grips on what the narrative's going to be. So we had John turning 40. And these aren't the spoilers because this is true. If I quickly get up Google, I can work out how old John Richardson is. See, I got it easily. John Richardson is 40, so I can talk about that. So it's because I didn't know whether or not that was part of the narrative. So in the first episode, we get to grips with the fact that John's going to be 40, and that sets up the 40th birthday narrative. We get a reference to Lucy Beaumont's. So in the first episode, we had a reference to Lucy Beaumont being at the National Comedy Awards, because and I tell you this again, a lot of comedians went, even though they weren't nominated, which is always nice, because then you have the wide environment of people being there and setting the atmosphere, not the just general public, but the guests that are out there, and it's nice to see, oh look, there's whoever in the background, there's whoever in the background. So that's what the National Comedy Awards, which are the revamped version of the British Comedy Awards, that's what they are. So she was at that, so they made a whole segment reference to that in the first episode. So we've got the John storyline set up for his 40th birthday for the series, and we had Lucy's trying to get more jobs involved, her storyline set up. So her agent was more prominent in this series. So her career during as the series goes on will get bigger and bigger. So that's first. So what did I think of Series 4, Episode 1. Series 4, Episode 1. Well, I think, now that I've seen 4 episodes, I think Episode 1, it's hilarious. It works really well. I do think it is one of the best episodes. I do. Episode 4, when we get to it, was fantastic. That's my dog there having a sneeze, if you can hear him. So the 4th episode was hilarious, but the first episode had me howling laughing for a good hour after I'd seen it, and not many programmes do that. They make you laugh in the moment, you can't stop laughing there and then in the credits rolling, but this still had me laughing an hour later. Well done to episode 1. In episode 2, we had Lucy's main storyline of her career being ramped up to add an element as part of her career, which we won't spoil here. So she has an element in her career, like one particular program that she gets to work on, that's then moves the narrative away from her story arc being her career is getting better. Her story arc is frozen and changed to this one program and getting the cast together for the program that she's trying to make, and that's her story arc during this series. Where Johnny's still trying to work out about how he's going to deal with being 40, and Jill, which is John's mother-in-law, which is also Lucy's mum, which we do reference the travelogue program that John and Lucy's mum did, and she's in it as much as anything. And so the neighbours sort of changed a little bit. So one of the cast members that was part of the neighbours left, and we've got a new neighbour in, so we've got a new dynamic within the neighbours. I don't know whether they're actors or actual neighbours, but we still get the neighbours from their first house from the first series popping in and out, because he's now the chauffeur for John, which is always quite nice because John's going on tour again in the narrative, so it works quite well because John's on the narrative getting prepared for a tour, doing open spots, which seem to be going well. They always cut back to him when the audience are laughing, so we know that these jokes are going far and wide, right? And we have Jill doing her bit, but we don't see much of Elsie, which sort of not upsets me, just sort of makes me want to see her just roaming around the house. She doesn't have to have a story arc involved in it anymore. I would just like to see her roaming around the house like a kid would. Because the only thing that's sort of a little bit odd is that she doesn't seem like she's playing about, but that's just my opinion. Another thing that happened in episode... So what did I think of episode 2 overall? I thought episode 2 was immaculate. It was amazing, incredible, and well worth your time watching it. Episode 3 continued the massive story arc of Lucy. So you've got Lucy preparing for this programme, and then we have Lucy trying to get better at TV quizzing because she's been on House of Games, Pointless, and Weakest Link. She wasn't very good at Pointless, she wasn't very good at House of Games, and she wasn't very good at The Weakest Link. She was with Russell Kane for Pointless. This is why Russell Kane's in the series, because he's there being really angry at her for it, because he was angry at her in the last series about the whole not being very good at quizzes, so he's there to train her up to be a good quizzer. Which, if all goes to plan, she'll be an amazing quizzer. My question is, will the end of the series end with her being this? Will this show, I mean not the series, this show, will this show make Lucy Bowman an actual good quizzer when she goes in real life quizzes, not just in-universe quizzes? Who knows? But they also fictionalise a lot of talk shows, it turns out, as well. Because they did a fictionalised version of... it's not a spoiler, because they mentioned it on Sunday Brunch, but Lucy was on Sunday Brunch. And there's a bit, I think it's in episode 1, where they talk about going on to Sunday Brunch, she's always lying. And so she lied about being a good singer, I think, on Hidden Talents bit on Sunday Brunch. And now Simon Rimmer and Tim Lovejoy, who are the hosts of Sunday Brunch, found out that this was part of the show when Lucy came on to promote the show. So what happened was that they didn't know about it beforehand. They found out about it afterwards, that they were involved in this. So that was real life. They filmed it and made sure that they had another camera on shot to film as a backup for them, which I think makes this show even better. So the third series has that. Then we have a story arc in the third episode that takes all episode to plan, and then just before the credits, the joke pays off, but it was underwhelming because the story arc through the episode involved Lucy and John, so they're both involved in this. So the outcome of it ended just with John getting the punchline of the joke, which didn't work because then after that the credits rolled, so we didn't get enough time for Lucy to see what Lucy's reaction would be to it and what are the consequences of that happening. So the third episode didn't work as well as the first two, but it's only because that story arc of the thing that John and Lucy were involved in so it didn't work as well. Episode 4, which I've just seen before I filmed this starred Tamsin Outhwaite, Adrian Childs and Claire Gordon, spelled Grogan. That had Diane Boswell in it, but that continued the storyline of Lucy lying, the storyline of her getting good at quizzing, and the storyline of John going on tour is what it continued. And I think that episode was incredible, funny, and really worked really well. Now I haven't seen episode 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, so what we'll do to fix that is I'll sort of go over the approximately the gist of what you'll expect and how this episode plays out. So all it is it's Lucy attempting to do more quizzing, and this is where we've got Sally Phillips, Kima Bob's in this one. Who else? And that's about it guest star wise. So this episode seems to be, because I've seen the next time trailer, seems to be incredible, and it looks to me like it's going to be an amazing. So I'm not going to go any further because I'm not too sure. I'm not 100% certain about how much I'm allowed to talk about. So it depends. It sort of depends. I'm reading the very top line of it to see how much I'm allowed to talk about. It doesn't really say. It doesn't really say, but it does talk about getting access to the photo. So I've got a special little notes bit, and so I was just wondering whether I said anything. So from what I've seen, I'm saying it is an amazing series, and what I'll also say to add to this is that episode 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9 and 10, actually I can talk about episode 10. So episode 10 is Meet the Outtakes episode, where the real John and Lucy go behind the scenes to reveal all the unscripted moments and mistakes that didn't make the final cut. Let's see how much I can talk about. So it says, in the Outtakes episode of Meet the Richardsons, married comedians John Richards and Lucy Beaumont give the viewers a glimpse behind the scenes to find out if they're just as horrible to each other when they don't think the cameras are rolling. All the mistakes, misunderstandings, and even more moments than usual as a well-off camera pranks and mishaps. Also, Lucy reveals how close she came to being a Bond girl and how close John came to do something very inappropriate. I tried to work out whether or not that's a pen or not, but it didn't say pen, so it's something very inappropriate. So, episode 10 is the behind the scenes outtakes episode, which is going to be incredible. All episodes will be available on UK TV Play from Thursday, I think. I don't know whether it'll be after the episode aired or not. Episode 8 sort of cleans up the arc to do with John's 40th birthday. Episode 9 is the Halloween special, I think. Don't know what you see I'm making a Halloween special. So spending the night. Okay. So it's a Halloween special, episode 9, which is weird because it's not airing anywhere near Halloween. So that's Halloween special for episode 9. Episode 7, it's John and Lucy out what real love looks like at a dinner. This is where Rachel Paris and her husband Marcus Brigstock gets involved into the show. Episode 6, Lucy's offered a chance to do Strictly. That's where Anton Beck's involved. And episode 5, John considers doing a CANOE man. And wow. So, that's what episode 5 is about. And so, there you have it. My review on Meet the Richardsons Series 4. Hopefully you've enjoyed this review. Make sure you watch Meet the Richardsons Series 4 Episode 1 tonight at 10 PM on Dave. And all episodes available either straight after or beforehand. I don't know whether it's 6 AM then the all episodes appear, or it might be 10 PM Episode 1 and all the episodes afterwards available on UK TV Play. You can get UK TV Play on mobile devices, on iPhones, iPads, Android devices. You can get a website on computers and on mobile devices. And you can watch UK TV if you have Sky by saying the name of the programme and it will appear, because it's like the on-demand thing. And you can get the UK TV Play app on Apple TV, Fire Stick, Chromecast and many more. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed this review. I will be reviewing Series 2 and 3, the Christmas specials and the holiday specials at a later point in the future. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you UK TV for giving me the opportunity to do this. Bye! I'm off to go and edit this now without hurting my knee like normal.